welcome to a much larger set of jobs. And that can now be 3. That can be 3. Okay. Pretty solid. Pretty solid. How long till 9 has their next... got a growth tier of 1. We've got quite a while until your next age up, I think. Yeah, you only just had an age up, so we've got some time with you. But on that note, chat, I think it's time for us to evolve our ideology. We are actually sitting on the ability to do that right now. We just haven't taken it. So I think now's the time. I do believe. Let us reform the ideology. Once again, we're going to go with a new meme. Now, we have many options. At this point, the way I do fluid ideologies is it has to make sense within the story of the lived experience of the colony. So I can't just like add something because chat really wants them to be cannibals if there's no story reason why they would ever consider that an okay thing. They are technically cannibals right now, but that's completely different. There was a legit reason. It's just that cannibalism is a necessary and required part of blood feeder reverence, and we had 2 sanguiphages that had been carrying the colony for a bit, so it made sense. That was just baggage. But the first one that we take when we're starting a fluid ideology has to be a low impact, and the second one can be anything in low or medium. The third one can be anything in high, medium, or low. The blood feeder was picked out of everything just because it fit the story more. Proselytizer was the second one we picked. We started with collectivist. Proselytizer because we had been actively converting people, so it made sense. But now... we've started interacting with the void. I'm not sure that inhuman makes sense, though. Humanity is a barrier to our connection with the machine god and its pleasurable rewards. No, that just seems to fly in the face of the tribals fleeing from the blood machines sent by an angry machine god. Can you see Shipborn? Sure. Shipborn is humans were destined to live amongst the stars. Required precepts, indoors, eating nutrient pace is don't mind, indoors preferred, temperature tough, space habitat preferred. Conflicting traits is undergrounder. We would not take that because we haven't even been in space yet. We haven't even started on well, we've got the grav core. We haven't started building it at all, so that makes no sense. Ritualists, maybe. There's a greater energy in the universe. Through ritual, we can understand it and harness its power. Psychic rituals, exalted. Void study, very efficient. We would require one of the slower researches, which for a tribal group would be brutal. Transhumanist doesn't... I don't think that is necessarily precluded from our story, although we are against the machine. That doesn't mean that we're not okay with transhumanism. Transhumanism isn't the same as worshipping an architect. Transhumanism is the idea that the human body can be better designed by the ingenuity and kind of engineering of a human mind rather than the slow environmental pressure of biology, of evolution. Human progress means merging with technology. Now, there is nothing that says that we can't merge with technology. That would just be a story beat where we kind of accept that to defeat our enemy, we must become, better than human. We must, take the weapons of the enemy and make them serve us instead. Best way to fight a machine is to become a better machine, indeed. So that one doesn't strictly stand out for us. That one wouldn't be a terrible one. Tree connection would mean trees are the essence of life and we must be near them. Trees desired, rough living welcomed, temperature tough, Granland correction strong, unlocked roles, plant specialist, start with research tree sowing. We've not really interacted with trees that much, but well, actually, no, we've made a lot of wood. So you know, we're animists, so the forest spirits is definitely a route we could go. Nudism would make no sense. Pain is virtue, perhaps. Perhaps. Blind sight doesn't really make sense. Yeah. Well, that being said, the leader of the colony is blind in one eye. And has been for a long time. And is a blood feeder, which the colonists revere. Blindness could be respected, for example. Combat in darkness preferred. Lighting would become dark lights. That is a possibility. Darkness, bright light burns and destroys. Darkness nourishes and creates. People ought to live in darkness. I mean, considering we revere blood feeders and their UV sensitivity, that could absolutely make sense. That would absolutely make sense. Ranching is a tricky one because it makes it so that growing... See, the problem with ranching is, in my opinion, it's so extreme. Like, it's not just like, oh yeah, ranching is good. It's eating anything that animals is bad. Well, it's not so much eating anything other than animals, but growing plants is bad. And that hurts quite a lot. Like, this is the most aggressive form of enjoying meat. Nature primacy is definitely a no. Cannibalism, I mean, that would fit in with the blood feeding. They've been eating human meat now for quite some time. You can get around it with an agribot. That's true, actually. It's more carnivore than rancher, yeah. But cannibalism, we must consume human flesh. Because right now, cannibalism is accepted. We, because of blood feeder, we're already able to eat humans. And people enjoy it. Yeah, we've already got acceptable cannibalism, but this would push it into they actively want to eat people and get unhappy if they don't. Right now, they're just happy if they've eaten human flesh. This sounds so bad. Cannibalism is the more extreme version where they're unhappy eating anything but. So I'm not sure they would necessarily lean towards that, but that's as strong of an argument for that as darkness, considering the whole blood feeding thing. But then again, there is also transhumanism. Hey Aurelia, how you doing? Okay, so I think here, the ones that I'm leaning towards are transhumanism, darkness, or cannibalism. I think those are the ones that make the most sense for our current story as the game has presented it to us. We've got a mechanotor. We're starting to effectively create our own machines, and we've got a lot of people that are missing limbs. Also, Sylphia, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome on in, raiders. Tux has pounced and dragged in a Sylphia raid. I see. Welcome in. Hopefully you weren't dragged too unceremoniously. The problem with transhumanist is transhumanist requires an extremely high energy, high steel colony. Like an incredible amount of steel and energy is required, because at the kind of expectations our colonists have right now, based on wealth, they will all want neural supercharging, which needs a pod per person for that. They will all want biosculpting. They will, well, actually, no, they won't all want biosculpting, but they will require age reversal. So once they're of a certain age, they are going to be very unhappy and they're going to want that pulled back. We'll see. Sylphia blames you for her streaming addiction. Sylphia said, I did, in fact, refer to Aavak as the gateway drug to streaming. It's true. I mean, there's certainly other ways you could have put that, but I'll take it, I guess. Guilty as charged. First try is free. But yeah, transhumanism has a lot of benefits, but also a lot of negatives. One of the big benefits is it'll get rid of scars. Biosculpting will remove scars. I think biosculpting can even rebuild limbs. Age reversal is obviously an amazing one because it gets rid of a lot of senescence related issues. Sleep accelerated is preferred. Neural supercharger is preferred. These would be mood detriments until I could set them up. But a transhumanist colony requires a lot of material investment. An awful lot of material investment. So that comes with its own issues. It really does. But replacing, we've got a lot of limbs that we would want to replace, and that would actively make them happy, which is great. Oh, I know you're thinking, oh, all the more reason to get the ship up and running. No, because a lot of the buildings, like, you can't uninstall them. So that makes it actually genuinely quite hard to do. Because everywhere you land and set up a new colony, you need to rebuild those devices. Unless you build them on the ship, which requires an enormous amount of room and power on the ship. I feel that this, while it makes sense and would be good, the three that we're considering, darkness, cannibalism, and transhumanism, all have story hooks that make sense within the developing story of the colony. Transhumanism, from a gameplay perspective, would be the hardest to implement, though. Especially at the current situation of our colony. Darkness would be slightly inconvenient because people won't like being in bright light. So I'd have to change their sleeping habits a little bit. But it would actually give us a lot of advantages in other ways because, well, fighting outside at any time other than night would be rough on us. But we would have a distinct advantage fighting in night. And also I could change a lot of the kind of defenses to be built around the idea of having darkness, which again gives us a massive advantage over anyone fighting us. This makes sense within the idea of this being an effectively a collectivist, proselytizing, blood feeder worshipping tribe. The darkness meme would work with that because of their the blood feeders' aversion to UV light. Cannibal would also work with it because as part of the blood feeder, we've got cannibalism acceptable anyway, and so people have been eating human meat to make, bring themselves closer to the blood feeders they revere so much. I'm not sure how to pronounce that last word there, unforgiving gravity. I've seen it used. I understand the definition of the word. I just don't know how to pronounce it. But I was also flirting internally with the idea of saying we're basically making a vampire coven. It does feel that way. So darkness or cannibalism would both work. Maybe this is why the machines sent the blood. Why the angry god sent the blood machines. Maybe it foresaw the direction that our tribe would go and was trying to snuff us out. Coterie. Coterie? Cotier? Coterie. Coterie. Okay. Like you're asking for your jacket. You get confused, then scared. Okay. Coterie. Thank you. I think we go with darkness. I think that makes the most sense. And look, okay, it's gonna make such a cool colony. We'll have dark lamps everywhere. We'll have some harpsichords, some pipe organ. It's gonna be great. When our vampires have when our sanguiphages have a mental snap, they can just go brood in their throne room, play the harpsichord a bit, lament over being misunderstood. It's perfect. Yeah, I think darkness right now. Cannibalism doesn't make, while it does have a good story hook because the whole colony has been eating people. This goes from being like, yeah, human flesh is a delicacy. It brings us closer to the revered beings that we all adore. To, if I don't eat a person right now, I'm going to lose my shit and set everything on fire. Which is a bit of a different story there, you know? Does it make them sparkle? No. Why would it make them sparkle? My lord. Are you planning to make the ship be Dracula's teleporting cat? If I did, would you have a problem with it? Okay. Darkness it is. Next. All right. Combat in darkness is preferred. Okay, so the other rule that I have whenever we're changing an ideology is we adjust. We take whatever, selecting a meme, whatever it randomly generates. Once we're here, I can change one thing that exists by 1 degree of severity, or I can add one thing. So, in this case, we've got combat in darkness preferred. So, we fight better in the dark. Shoot accuracy outdoors at dark at plus 25. Accuracy outdoors lit minus 20. So, and like we have a penalty fighting in the day if it's lit, but if it's dark, we've got a bonus, and that's for melee as well, all the way through. Lighting, dark light preferred. If it's too bright, it's gonna make them upset. But if we've got dark lights, they'll actually be happy. Like just being in a room with a dark light will make them happy. Corpses are ugly. I don't think we can change that one. No. Blindness horrible. No, I can't change that one. I wouldn't have minded making that not horrible. But eclipses are beautiful now. We slowly changed drug use to be like, this used to be completely prohibited. But over the course of the first period of time before we could change the ideology, we'd obviously had to use drugs quite a lot to save people's lives, so we changed it to medical use only. So it wasn't just like you can give them anesthesia before you cut the leg off. You can also give them drugs if they need to deal with an addiction, because we'd had a hussar in the colony and it made sense. In fact, we went through a lot of effort to try and get them go juice before they died, but they did die in the end. So that kind of changed the view of the tribe. And then by small measures across the next period of time, the expanded use of drugs was very convenient, and so it moved to social as well. So they can now drink Psychite tea and have beer. That was an important change. That made a big difference for us. We've got blood feeders, revered, proselytizing frequent. We've never. Well, have we ever executed anyone? No, we haven't. We actually generally don't. Well, I mean, a couple of raiders looked like they were going to recover and we might capture them, but then sadly, just random bullet out of nowhere just hit them in the head and they were dead. Such a tragedy. So I guess we have actually executed some, but we've never like captured them and then executed them. So I don't think we're going to go for that one. Child labor, I might change. But we've got a couple of other options as well. We haven't gotten this relic, so I'm not going to add another one. Do we venerate the wild boars? I actually don't see a reason why we wouldn't after that last the hate chanting raid, because the boars honestly washed over our enemies like an angry tide. It just swept over the land. Not a single boar attacked us. They killed only the scallywags outside that were trying to whisper hate into our hearts. I see no reason why we would not continue to venerate the boar. I see no reason why we would take that away. It's very inconvenient for us from a gameplay point of view, but story-wise, if anything, our tribe loves the boars even more. Weapons, we could probably switch over to more high-tech weapons, maybe? Could add a new building. Like sculptures from our Ideologian. I could add a ritual. Probably high time we did. I could add a new role. Oh, we can actually. We can get a mining specialist. Do we want a mining specialist? We probably do. I mean, it would be useful. What does a mining specialist do? A specialist ideologist status focusing on mining to the exclusion of all else. This specialized role gives increased mining speed and the ability to boost the mining speed of nearby allies. Holders of this role will refuse to do some non-mining work. They won't handle, cook, construct, grow, plant, cut, smith, tailor, or craft. I'm not sure we really want that role. Lady Shield just asked, can I bring Athena in for her run? You absolutely can. Give me 5 minutes though, and we'll be going on a tea break once I'm finished reforming the Ideologian, and we can bring her in then, and she can just continue running around when I return after the tea break. We can still get manhunting boars, unfortunately, yeah. What do you think, Chad? Should this be the one thing I change, adding a mining specialist? I just kind of don't feel it's necessary. I think having children and seeing the difference it makes to have children who've got free time, I think it's more likely that we would change... Oh, come on. That we would change child labor rules. Either that or a ritual. Yeah, I think it would either be we change child labor, add a ritual, or add a ideologist building. Tequila Jane would disagree if child labor is disapproved. Why? Give me the story reason for that. Why would Tequila Jane feel that? That goes out to co-favorite, that is. Tequila Jane is gone, yes. Food for thought. If you have an ideal religion building, would people on the ship get a debuff if they don't have access to it, and vice versa? No, but they would get a buff if they did have access to it. So, for example, I could have like an ideologist sculpture, and if that is there, it's a very big mood buff. Is a darkness-based ritual possible? We don't have any darkness-based rituals, unfortunately. Advocating child labor is darkness. Well, no, because I was advocating for removing it, but Co felt that Tequila Jane, our dead ex-leader, would disagree, and I'm just wondering what story basis they had for that opinion. Have I missed something? From what I remember, Tequila Jane likes children working, but dislikes them having recreational activities. My memories are quite... Oh, that was because of this. So that wasn't because of Tequila Jane. That was specifically because of child labor being encouraged. That means that if a child has recreation, that makes people unhappy in this ideology. But by changing this, Tequila Jane wouldn't mind. If that, I see where you're coming from now. Yeah, that did happen once, and that's why I kind of have removed any enforced recreation for the children. But I think it comes down. Yeah, no, it comes down to the three I had. So either we relax the expectation on child labor, just because, again, seeing the difference between children who've had time to recreate and educate is a stark and sobering experience when compared to what they saw initially. They've experienced what Pacobing, the development of Pacobing when they couldn't have any recreation. Toying has kind of wibbled in the middle. They're not meant to, but they also kind of just chill out on their own. But they're not enforced to go to school or anything like that. Can I increase research? There is a reason why that might work, but I don't think that there is as much story reason for that, Mr. Alex, to go. We have been researching a lot, and so I could change it, but I just don't feel that there's much reason to. I could move it up to fast, for example. But it doesn't... Like, that would more likely be something I would go for if I'd gone for transhumanism. How can we listen to the children of... music of the children of the night if they can't play... Wow. Listen to the children of the night. What wonderful music they make. Yeah, okay, no, that has completely convinced me. I could go to disapproved, which means that if they're working, they're going to be unhappy. But it does mean that they will learn faster. Childhood is sacred. We should let kids be kids. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Okay, that's our one change. And dunk. There we go. Wow. What a difference. I need to grab my lights. All of them. Every single light. Change the dark lights. Every single light. Change the dark lights. There we go. As simple as that. These ones I want to actually be a bit colder. Sorry, change color. Apparently anything in here is a dark light. Can I get at least a little bit more cool looking? I mean, I could just make it... It's a shame that I can't... Like, I can have a dark light all the way up there if I wanted to. But I kind of want it a little bit more cold. Something like that. Copy color. We'll place that one on this one as well. There we go. And then these ones. Change color. I want these to be red. This is purely for style. And also in here as well. There we go. I wish you could have other dark colors that were considered dark lights. Given that, then, we're going to need to make some schedule changes. Also, I can now tell the children to recreate enormously. Give them 4 hours of anything after they go to sleep, so that they can sleep for a certain amount of time, then, you know, do whatever they want. But they're gonna have a bunch of extra time for recreating. I think that works out for us. Oh, actually, Paco Bing, are you? Oh, you're not a tribe child. But this kind of makes me want to switch everyone now onto a sleep in all the way through the day, kind of the midday sort of area. At the very least, it makes me not want to meditate at this point. I want to meditate somewhere around here instead, so that they're not doing it when it's bright out. But everyone in the colony now is going to want to spend more time asleep during, or, you know, it would be better for them to sleep during the day. So it kind of makes the biphasic stuff harder, a lot harder. How do you solve the food problem for new players? Green, that is, it depends a lot on what DLCs you've got. Whether you've got like ideology and things like that, what kind of colonists you've got. I mean, I'm gonna just, you know, address the elephant in the room. If your colonists are okay with eating people, then the food problem tends to solve itself because it delivers itself to you on a regular basis. But if you do not, one of the best ways to make your food stretch further is with nutrient paste. Nutrient paste is particularly good for 2 reasons. It is very resource efficient, so you will get more nutrition out of less food by using a nutrient paste dispenser, and it also avoids the possibility of having food poisoning. You cannot get food poisoning from nutrient paste. So nutrient paste will stretch your food further, and it removes any chance that an incompetent cook or a dirty kitchen will cause food poisoning. But there is one caveat: unless they have a specific meme as part of an ideology, they won't enjoy it. And in fact, they'll get a little bit of a mood debuff for eating it. But quite often that is very easy to mitigate. It's only a small one. So you just, you know, you give them a nicer bedroom or a nicer barrack or something, and it'll offset the fact that they're a little sad that they had nutrient paste, basically sludge. But that will massively increase your food stocks. So that would be my big advice for you on that one. But okay, right, it is time for a tea break. Athena needs to come out for a run, and so let's go and get everything set up for that. I'm going to be able to remove these actually, because we're not going to need lights in here. Instead, I think I'm going to install them around here. And, oh, I'm not even in there, honestly. Is there anywhere else I want them? I could have a couple of lights down here because I want this to be darkness, because darkness will allow my soldiers to be much more effective in battle. Let's move that over there. Also, I now want the roof. I now want this to be roofed. Pretty much this entire area should now be roofed. If I can roof it, I want it roofed. Though that may mean that the miasma will cling. I think it should be okay. On that note, I think I'm also going to extend the roof out around the building a bit. In fact, I might take it all the way and have pillars outside to make it a little bit easier for us to manage it. But like I said, it is time for Athena to have a bit of a run and for me to have a bit of a tea break. So we're going to step away. I'm just going to finish this so I don't have to think about it, and I can have my colonists do some work, and you can have a bit of a watch of something while I'm away. All right, let's drop a save here. What will we call it? There we go. We are literally becoming more and more stereotypical vampires as time goes on. All right, we're going to unpause it here. I will be back in about 5 minutes. You will most likely hear Sheilab in the background, and you might be fortunate enough to hear Athena duking happily. You'll have to listen very closely though, because my mic has noise cancelling and it may drown that out. But we will be back in a couple of minutes. While I'm away, I will run some ads to disable pre-roll for the next hour or so. Don't worry, I will not be back before the ads are finished playing, so you will miss nothing. This is just a way, because we've had several raids this stream, so let's hope that future raiders don't have to sit through an ad through pre-roll or anything like that the next time they jump in. But I shall be back soon. I have returned. The sounds of Sheila going, "No, Athena, don't step in it." Huh. So yeah. Oh. Oof. Okay, so 2 of our prisoners have got the flu. Oh man, so many of our peeps have got the flu. Well, that isn't great. Okay, you're okay-ish. You've got a bad back, which we're gonna want to try and fix. You're 58 years old, which is an issue in and of itself. Alright, how about you two? You need to go and lie down right now, actually. You've both already been treated, yeah. Alright, you're gonna need to rest until healed. I want you resting until healed as well. Ryan and Paco Bing, they're just down for the count right now. God, this has hit us hard. You alright too? Rest until healed. I'm not going to be able to have everyone rest until healed, unfortunately. You're okay, but rest until healed to get your immunity up a little bit more. Creep, can you rest? I think that's everyone. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everyone. Oof, that is a rough one. Hey, Molly Berry. It is flu season, it seems. Hello, Athena. She is trying to get to my tea. You can tell she's one of my ferrets. Alright. Well, they've managed to do a good bit of work on getting the dark lights up, at least. Could even stick up a few more, I suppose. Try and get another one for there as well. Alright. I could have... Well, no. No, because dark light will count as lighting the area, which I don't want. Okay, so Sheila took off her socks, and currently Athena is wearing one. On her head, yes. How else would a ferret wear a sock? Oh my lord, but the flu is rough. At least most of our people are in bed now, and they're going to have a much better chance of recovering from this. You'll never do cleaning. Darkest Order, will you do it? Yes, please. Go clean the hospital. As for... we've got a lot of meds. I'm going to allow all of our people to have regular meds. For now. For the time being, definitely regular meds. Also, are all of my medics carrying... So I've got 5 medics. Silas, Thalandra, Satria, Kagatuchi, and Leafy Pew. Silas is not carrying 3 herbal meds, which I would like you to do. The medics should always carry a bit more meds than everyone else. Are you going to put the sock hat on again? Yes, she is. Oh no, she's decided against it. Right. How are we doing here? We're actually not too bad. Poison... Yeah, okay. Food poisoning on top of having the flu is going to be a rough one. But, you know, well, you should have thought about that before you decided to be a scoundrel and attack us. Satria, would you be able to come down here and melee this? All of these into destruction. So I can move around this place a little bit better. That would be grand. It's going to take a while, and we're going to be hearing that a lot because it is a... Yeah, there we go. It should be usable now. No, it isn't. Have they removed that yet? No, I think that is currently moved. Hopefully they'll get to that soon. Ooh, all those. And let's have a look at people's moods and generally how they're feeling. Underground or indoors? My friend Tequila Jane died. Yeah, it's rough and he slowly moves away. Indoor light. This indoor light is too bright. I would prefer something dimmer. Where are you? Just 6. Oh, is that actually going to upset the... Oh, man, that sucks so much if that will, in fact, just straight up upset them all. Wait a second, is that... Why is that so warm? Did we have an issue at some point? Was a door held open? Oh, crap. Okay. Yeah. I see what's happened there. I foolishly... Very foolishly roofed over this area, and that meant, consequently, that... Actually, do it right now. This became crazy hot. No, I need you to do it now. And then that one. And that one as well. There we go. There we are. Ah, damn it. Our food was rotting in that time. Poop. Oh, not the greatest. Certainly not the greatest. Couple of dead bodies. Ah, that's a shame because that was good norms right there. Oh well. Long range mineral scanner is done. This is a repurposed old base, yeah. I'm gonna leave that for now. Hopefully I can get someone out here to remove these roofs. We'll see. I want to check on the peeps who've got food poisoning. Right, so... sorry, not the flu, rather. And... what are you doing out here? Alright. You are hauling dead people. If I tell you to bed rest, I really want you to bed rest. Maybe I should change that and just always have them. I know I've got them. Go be a patient if you're in danger, but maybe I should just say, hey, once we've got enough, you know, enough doctors, just go and rest in a bed if you're feeling under the weather. I love this, by the way. Such a cool representation of people recovering and getting over a flu. What about these ones? You're fine. You're fine. In fact, you're probably going to be safer than all the others. I think maybe we do need more beds, though. I can always shove someone in a cryptosleep casket if absolutely necessary. You need to stop doing that. Oh my lord. It's actually frustrating. Okay, cancel that for now. Let's just pop. Granite door there. Let's get this made, then I'm going to move a granite door over here. Who did you drop? No one else. Okay, that's fine. That would have been rough. That would have actually been particularly brutal. Also, having people that you're regularly taking hemogen from is, to be honest, really effective. Really, really effective at raising your medical. I'm going to make this, and I'm going to make this the important clear all core basic subcore. Those are preferred, but this is important. So subcores should go there. Silent skittering in the background is so adorable. Can you actually hear Athena scurrying around? She is adorable. Oh, you're quite correct. This is going to cause more problems for my attackers than it'll cause for me by having this the darkness in there, like much more. So these things getting slightly in the way of... Well, actually, I can probably still move them a little bit further up. I could probably have them here and here and still achieve this same overall effect of making it... giving me enough roof cover? I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see if that works. Yeah, generally speaking, everyone who needs flu treatment is in there being tended. If I need to, I will preach recovery. I mean, Cupcake seems to be the worst. Leafy, could you preach health to me, Cupcake? Let's get them out of there as quickly as we can. Okay, they should start rising quickly ahead of the flu now. Also, can I get these reinstalled? One there. One there. It's always risky moving these things because there is a non-zero chance that you trigger it accidentally when you're trying to move it. That one can just be broken down at this point. I don't need it anymore. Oh wow, they can meditate in the hospital. That's actually pretty cool. Didn't realize that was the thing. That's very cool. I wouldn't mind having some dark lights in here. Yeah, with Crete and War Dancer down, we're not going to get any construction done for a while. Did you just... Oh, you did. Fantastic. Okay. In that case, time to start trying to recruit you. It's going to take us a hell of a long time to do, though. But we'll do our best. You unhappy about being... Put that on then. What we got here? Alright, could you just force target to wear this so that it stop being upset about it? There you go. Line reached 1 in mining, nice. Oh, you're reading about it, cool. Double cool, actually. Well, with this meme, I am actually strongly considering setting up sun lamps and actually having an indoor place to prepare, to do plants. Okay, you've got a lot of things working against you right now. That is unfortunate. Also, I would actually like that to be held open by someone at some point. Let's grab Citria. I'll let you feed. There you go. Then I want you to wander over here because having this open just avoids some issues that we might have with angry peeps attacking us. How are you doing, Cupcake? Oh yeah, no, that preach health was massive. That really changed things. Why are you so far behind though? Interestingly, have you got sickly or something? No, you don't. Very curious. Some peeps visiting the colony. Oh, yes, cubes can fly. I hit 6 cooking. That's actually pretty cute. Athena is literally assaulting Sheilab for her tea. Trying everything she can do to get into her hands to get... Ooh, that is a huge win for us. Actually, staggering win. Do we have storage for all of this? Yeah, we do. Okay, so I need you to do me two things. One, actually, Silas, you can be the one to do it. I want you to bring this in. And I want you to haul the hemogen packs. As many of them as you need to. You're quite fast, so you doing this would be ideal. Who is my other hauler? Doride. Doride, I want you, once you're done resting... actually, no, I really do want you to get up and do this right now. Get out here. All these in for me. And I want... Your relative... You're not allowed out, so... you won't do it. Leafy Pew, I would like you to haul these in. Head Crab, I would like you to haul those in. Let's try and get some of this wealth out of silly places, because it's just making things worse for us. Now that you're there, I want you to come grab this one. Because you'll probably walk... Oh, void provocation is done. Okay. Right, go grab this. Now go grab this one. There we are. That way you can take all of them back at the same time. Right, we got void provocation, which is cool. Perform a psychic ritual which deadens a target's psychic sensitivity and temporarily boosts the ritual invoker's psychic sensitivity. The target will suffer brain damage as a side effect. That leads to chronophagy. Summon flesh beasts, draw shamblers. These are all important because I could use them to mess with attackers. So next up we want psychophagy, moving into chronophagy, I think. And those are only like low level things as well. It's kind of wild. Go. All the gubbins is being brought in. Silas is going back out, unfortunately. You know what? Once you've brought that back, I'm going to clear your... enforced behavior. Leafy Pew, you're going to have to go out and have a chat with them, despite the fact that it's really bright outside right now. Sorry about that. And I also finally want to finish off these walls. Get them double thick. There we go. A menace cluster. No. Oh, no mortars, though. Okay. Psychic Droner isn't great. Countdown Activator is also not great. But... that's not a terrible set. An Archite Capsule. Not what we would want. Goodwill would be okay. Prestige Cataphract Armor. That is I mean, it's kind of amazing, but it's very, very expensive. And that's, you know, a load of extra wealth on the map, which is not exactly what we want. Okay. Could sell the Thrumbo horn. We've got a lot of reinforced barrels that I don't need. A bionic jaw, a sterilizing stomach, a farm hand. Psychic insanity lance is a definite one. We'll take that. We've got our breeding pair of rhinos are breeding. Get rid of the calves. Do we want to say goodbye to Moken at this point? Would they be able to give Moken a better life elsewhere? Is a question. Say goodbye to the chicks. We don't need them. Ducklings.